Okay, so this is the second try. Please let me know if the audio is working fine. The chat box was not working. We're here for a VIP game, maybe some cash game championship, maybe some tournaments. Depends on how I feel. Let's see how many tables are running. Not that many actually. It's looking rather quiet on the cash game front. God from Stock flying. Yeah, it's insane. And I've played against him. He's a very good player, but very different player from Zagreb as well. It's super interesting to see two styles so different doing okay, and I think he's kind of unknown. Let's close this one. Let's see if the chat works fine. We're not live yet, but I still have a message. This is probably from the last stream. I can't see the poker tables for the trees. Yes, we'll fix it, we'll fix it. We'll fix it. There's a ton of friends visiting me here, so I've mostly been drinking this weekend. I know who it is, promise not to tell anyone though. He's one of my close mates. Okay, we're outing them on the stream. Going live in 40 seconds. There's only a couple of tables running at the moment. No 1020. But we can start. We can start and see if that works. Maybe this should be a little bit smaller. Super likable guy. Kumikon, and it's not the real one, it's actually one of the most asked questions whenever his name pops up. We have a guy from back in the day who used to be a Hadza player and one of the most successful pre-solver poker players. But Kumikon is just a fan, I guess. I think this is a little bit illegal what we're doing now, but we're gonna stop. We're gonna stop our out of line bluff. He's got the 10. Still have to take my revenge on BGP. Actually, he bluffed a very sick hand against me. I can't see any chat messages. I love it when this stuff is not working. Okay, it's supposed to be live. Let's see if it just works. Cook some food. Okay. A poker player that cooks food, that's very suspicious. That's very suspicious. Going to check it back again. Small value bet in position. Okay, the chats are here. Below Hertz is saying good luck, mister. First to say good luck, you were the second. Second lol. Yo, are you still going hard for the Rolex? So, I always had the plan to go very hard at the start and then take it easy when my friends are going to visit. They are here now, so I haven't played in the last 3 days. I'll put in a couple of more sessions. So if I run very good, there's a small chance that I can still compete. But God has to lose some money. He's at 440k, I'm at 50k, so the gap has to be closed on 2 sides. We're here sitting on a measly 48,000. So we have to do some work. And Saga is coming in with insane volume. 70,000. Got from stock, just absolutely crushing. 70 buys is very impressive. That's very impressive. But yeah, as for now, the game has not started yet. So we'll wait. Can someone explain the Cash Game Championship? I don't play on CoinPoker, so we're organizing a championship 1 month long, and whenever you win money in expected value, you rise on the leaderboard, and the winner of the challenge takes down a Rolex and the eternal fame, of course. So it's like a competition based, the same way they do it with football, but then they do it over the whole year, but now we're doing it over a month. So you add all your results together in the cash game, and then we see who's the best cash game player this month. So that's basically it. Manu is saying it's a rake-free PLO 4 cards, 2, 5 and 10-20 competition based on EV. That's a very good explanation. Thank you, Manu. So it's pretty cool because you really can cheer for someone. It becomes a little bit more of a spectator sports, and your hands are shown at the end of every hand that you play. So you get bluffed and you see all the time people rocking up with the most crazy hands. Okay. Someone is getting the banhammer. And fresh melon juice. And it's painful because he's much appreciated and much respected. Commenter, good luck, sir. In a review, someone said that God from Stock is Richard Grieco. I think he plays under another name, but... Okay, reloading the chat. Gustav I wanted to say Leblanc, but it's Le Bon. Which is Leblanc is an area I used to live in Rio de Janeiro. How much is the first prize? It's a 15k Rolex for number 1. But as you can see, I got from stock actually 150k in the challenge, so the Rolex is just a byproduct. That's a decent result, let us say. No cash game table running yet. That's very good for got from stock. And that's my friend. Let's see. I think we need something moving on my screen for people to stay around. So we'll hop into this tournament. Hola. Let's see if something is happening on GG Poker as well. Reminds me of the good old days on Coin Poker where we had the weekly game on Sunday. I do miss those times. I was running very hot and I had a lot of good action. I think we're just gonna flat call. We do both up on the turn. We zijn live, maatje. We zijn live voor de JCX.
Ja.
Oké.
Je Threadhusband's taking care.
Oh, wow. Wat is dit dan?
De zaak was dicht.
Ziet er heel lekker uit.
Aceetje en een broodje.
Lekker. Thanks, man.
Een snackje voor de avondeten.
Snack voor snack. Okay. Been kind of small, so I think we're supposed to bet for value here. Nice nil snack. Why don't you play a lot of tables? Yeah, there's no action yet. Thank you for the explanation. Got from stock is another guy. It's my friend. Yeah, pretty legendary to be anonymous and crush a challenge like this so hard. It's pretty epic. Let's see. They did change the clock. We received an extra hour when we were on a night out. Alec, do we want to play that? I don't think so. Still waiting on the tables. Let's see, what is the code? Weak. Okay, this is happening off camera. We're on the table, but no game yet. My Italian brother is hopping in the chat. Do we have one of those giga expensive office chairs? Yeah, I'm actually sitting on a 2K chair, which is like super extra, but then again, I spent literally 1/3 of my life behind the screen. So also very logical, I think. Also very logical. Let's see if this is as good as it looks. Yeah, I have no idea why there's not that many tables. I'm quite surprised actually. I've been seeing so many tables. Maybe the big grinders are taking a mini break and take commands later today. We're going to run it once, of course. It's been a little while since I played 2515. Zagas. Also here. Start with a check. We have a very small amount of showdown here, but I'm going to try to take the 4 down. Here this hand might be nice as a bluff. My opponent is wrapping 5-6 now, kind of. Which we don't block. He had the 5, so I would have lost to his bluff. Sagas is playing and he really owned me super hard a couple of times. I think it's mostly him running kind of hot in our exchanges, but he made a couple of very cool plays against me. And the Cash Game Championship is so aggressive. It are the most aggressive games that I've ever played in. Kind of crazy. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to call here, but already feels tricky. We can sometimes call on the river, but I'm not sure if it's the best hand to do it with. Small bet. It's very weird. He's kind of representing an overpair. I'm just gonna call this time and see what my opponent shows up with the 9-9. Okay. That's pretty strong. Got from Stokers in the chat. We can check, we can bet here. I actually don't mind the check. And now we're having a lot, and it's kind of funny because it's close if we can raise, but I think it's still an obvious raise. We have so many outs that even against the higher straight, we basically still have 40% to win the hand. Of course, we also have to try and get value from hands that are worse than mine. And on this river, it's a very quick check, so I'm expecting not to be beat much at all. But it's also very hard to extract value from my 7 high flush after the line that I took, so I think I'm just gonna check. And he actually had a hand that we had completely crushed. But he managed to get there. And he had a quick check with the flush. So happy with the check. That was a robbery. Straight up robbery. We're gonna balance these tables. 3 pair. I actually think we get to raise here sometimes. It's not great. It's not great. Raise to stack off even, like we do incredibly terrible against the top set, of course, but sometimes you get to fast play these weaker 3 pairs. So we win one. We call this the Hail Mary bluff. Feels like it doesn't really work that well, and we also don't block the board that good, but I'll finish my food and I'll do the questions. I'm seeing a couple of nice ones about nutrition, like stuff not related to poker, which I always enjoy talking about. I have a lot of nutrition knowledge, but I'm not so good at applying the knowledge. So my diet is actually pretty bad and dirty. I don't cook that much. I think that's the biggest mistake you can make. Like whenever you order food, it's always very hard to be healthy when ordering food. The restaurants, they always use a ton of butter, oil, that kind of stuff. So if I wanted to be proper healthy, I should do a meal prep, which I did not so long ago. It was very nice, but it takes a lot of time and effort. But I think it's very important just to focus on products that have not been processed. So here we have Fishzone jumping into this game. I actually thought he was coming to play in the VIP game. I'll ask him. I'm gonna check here, give up on this bluff. Let's ask him. We can make it 4 tables. King Jack is enough showdown. With this setup, I'm gonna put the tables here. Small bet for my opponent. I actually don't think it's a super crazy hand to bluff with. So we're going to try that. Is it a believable line? Not really, but we can definitely hit a full house there. This guy, Canarian Spa, has been absolutely crushing me as well. Mentally, it's pretty heavy seeing your opponent's hand. Like sometimes you go on the streak where your timing is completely off for a long time. And it really sucks. It was mentally more demanding than initially expected because the stakes are not that high, so I was thinking that I wouldn't care that much, but I'm a competitive guy. So here we get check 2 and we have a lot of outs. The only thing that sucks is his 3-betting range consists of a lot of aces, so one of our outs is blocked. And now when he's shoving, I think we just have to go with it, but we're not loving it. We're not loving it. 45%. It's nice that he doesn't have the aces. So we do have a ton of outs. Hot start to the session. I'm going to bet small here for value. 3-bet after getting stacked, oftentimes. A bit weaker than what the range should be, so we're just gonna bet. Just gonna put it in. Hello, boys, you came to play, right? Not sure what he's saying, maybe people are too tight. going to limp here with someone sitting on 40 BBs. It's kind of nice. He came to play and a straight 3-bet, so BGP might be getting into the mix with some suboptimal holdings. Let me know if this setup works. So in the championship, they look at your all NAV. So in that hand that I won against Fish on, I'm actually losing money for the leaderboard because I had 45%. Get stacked, very premium holding. That's a very premium holding. I'm gonna get in there with BGP. We have to bluff him this session. It's very important. Coming in for small raise. Going to try and take this hand away on the river. Now we have showdown. Not that much actually, but enough where checking is fine. We pick up the ace king king. Fairly easy 3-bet. Going to make a tight fold, but I think this guy's relatively tight pre-flop, so of course he'll find his ace 10 9 8 double suited, that kind of hand. But against people who struggle to find the bluffs, which he might not, right? He showed up with one there, so maybe my read is just off. And if that's the case, then we really have to call, but against the tighter ones you can fold. 9-9. Going to be rough to take this one down. We have a nut straight here on the bottom left. We're gonna bet twice. We're unblocking the king and the 10. And we did have a draw to a higher straight, so when you have a very strong hand, you want to do a lot of betting. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes. Players that just start out, they try to slow play their strong hands a little bit too much, and then you just end up with an unbalanced range. That's nice. We have got the aces. Might be a hot start to the session. Finds the fold. It's fine. There's peanut butter in this acai. Wow. Bit loosey-goosey. But we know this guy's coming in a lot. Loves to play a couple of hands. I'll get to the questions close to finishing this thing. Beautiful flop. We don't have much showdown here. It's a bit of a Hail Mary, but he's going to call any flush here. It's kind of nice to have a spade, which we don't have. So now we're wrapping a thin value bet for 7-8. Even 5-7 maybe, but it's a hard sell. Here we defend a hand in the big blind that we should probably not be defending with. And here we find another creative float from Zagas and a raise on the river. Nicely played. Pretty standard, I think, but we both up on the turn, and these sets, a nice general rule is that you want to raise them if you have backup, meaning if you have a double back to flush draw or a good shot with it, then you can raise it. Here against the half pot, I'm actually going to click it back. He has position on me, so if we call and we check, we leave him in charge of the hand. And this ace is always funny. He has all the aces and we have 0, so it's kind of hard to get value from betting, so I'm just gonna check and call, or call when he goes all in. If he doesn't have the aces, it's kind of unfortunate, but sometimes you're just meant to lose your stack. You can still have like straight draws with flush draws, and this ace is kind of tempting for him to bet on, but so that was quite nicely played by yours truly. Wow. Max value, baby. We 3-bet the ace jack jack 9, super premium holding. And this flop, I think both betting and checking is fine. It's very hard for him to call a worse hand than our hand if we bet. And if that's the case, then checking always is a nice option, or can be a good option. Now we're just trying to take it to showdown. Could get away with a mini bet here, but also kind of dangerous. Just has the queen. Just has the queen. Here both betting and checking is fine. And here on these ace-high boards, we have a lot of flexibility in terms of how big we can size. I'm going to fold here. There's not much that we're blocking. Does have the 10. Here we don't really want to see a turn. And we have a strong hand now, so we're just gonna maximize our fold equity and put the biggest amount of pressure on our opponent. It's very scary facing those big bets. He does know that he does not have much fold equity at all. And here we river a full house and we're going to raise it up. A little Limsky with the kings. Fairly obvious what I have, and here we get called with the full house. We move table here. Jay Nandes is playing tournaments, but he has not been competing in the Cash Game Championship, I think. Not anymore. He was on a tough run and I think he moved on to something better. So here we're checking back with the king high flush because we're blocking our main hand that we can get value from, namely the queen high flush. In the meantime, my friends are calling me. Ja? Ja, je moet even Tim bellen, ik ben al aan het streamen. Oké, oké. Ciao, ciao. Crazy run out here on the bottom left. It's very hard for me to have a flush when there's 5 diamonds rolling off. Hey, CoinPoker 66% rakeback. Show us how this works. I have no idea, bro. I'm also not part of support, so surely you can figure it out yourself. Who is God from stock? He is crushing. So he's unknown as far as I know. So yeah, new guy, talented guy, and he's been absolutely crushing the championship. 70 buy-ins. He went to Vegas and shipped a 10k, I think. But I think he wants to stay anonymous, so even if I knew who it was, I would not disclose it. Hi, my main man. Tell them to do more championship reviews, please. Yeah, the coverage has been so, I think. Feels like the other stuff had like constantly live streaming the games or whatever. What's your favorite healthy meal and favorite cheat meal? Well, pizza is definitely very high up the list. A good pizza and a cold Coca-Cola. For healthy stuff, like chicken thigh is very good. Asian cuisine is also like a nice combination of healthy and tasty. Small bed there on the river. Czech probably fine too. Yeah, we're going to try to take those aces to showdown. We don't block anything on the board, which is kind of important when you're looking at hands to hero call with. Like having a 3, 5, 9, 4 jack means that my opponent has less of them, so. I think we can stab here. We do get called. And we river a flush. Do block a 10. We do block the 10 high flush. The card is not necessarily super good for the range of hands we're betting on the turn, so I think sizing down on the river could make sense. Basically trying to induce my opponent, but of course he can have the ace high flush and then we're just losing. That's unfortunate. Flop the full house here and we flop the top set, and this guy who's also playing in the VIP game is almost all in, or is all in. So I'm going to raise. We do get a call. No, we got an open ender as well, so I think I can continue betting. We continue betting here with the full house. And the note on this guy is waited for me when I was AFK, which is pretty special in the poker world. People with a good heart. They're a special breed. It's mostly a lot of people who are very concerned about their bottom line on that day. Yeah, can we start betting here ourselves? Why not? Why not? Here we could consider betting, but checking also fine. Here we have an easy call. Those gut shots to the nuts are worth a lot actually. Here we have a close one. Queen high, king high. Go for the fold. My opponent bets again, and having a made hand, flush draw and a straight draw makes it so that I think we can call there. We do quite well against his bluffy hands, and then even when he has a stronger hand like a king or aces, we have quite a bit of equity. This guy really likes to go after pots though, so sometimes we have to play a river. King king, we're not doing great against king king. Toilet rag in the VIP game. Hello, nothing interesting to say. Just a thank you for this cash game stream I particularly enjoy. No problem. I've been enjoying it as well. mentally a bit of a struggle sometimes, like playing 8 to 10 hours in a day and getting absolutely spanked by my opponents. But Vincenzo saying, hi Dirk, saluti dall'Italia, top grinder. You know it's the real Stefan. It's not the real Stefan. He plays under another screen name. Christopher Frank saying ace king 4 loses infinite to continue in GTO. Over 10 BB. Good solid fold. Pretty sure that's not true, but I think you're looking at the wrong sim. Thank you for the fun stream. Is streaming hungry work or something? Everyone just seems to eat, especially DNegs. Yeah. Yeah, we eat. The streamers, they need to eat as well. Hi, Dirk, where do you live? I would rather not disclose. Do you believe in any conspiracies? Let me think. I think it's easier for me not to believe in them. Because if some of them are true, it's just incredibly sad. So I choose to avoid trying to look into it. Like when you watch documentaries about 9/11, that kind of stuff, it all makes sense. It doesn't make sense. It's, I don't know, unlikely. And then if it were to be true, it would make me so incredibly sad that I just decide not to believe it. We check, we flop a flush and also a 2 pair. So again, I think this would be a nice combination to check with. Our opponent bets, and he's the guy who limped under the gun, so he has a fair bit of kings in his range, which might mean that he has a lot of king of hearts in his range. King rolls off on the river. We get raised here. I think we are folding. Emergy bluff for the viewers. Doesn't opponent have a lot of 2 pairs in button versus big blind? That call, you turn probe in your 10-9-8-5 diamond hand. I don't know. Guess you have to write out the whole hand or something. Jananas was streaming yesterday but playing 500, not 2k. Okay. Going to Vegas to play the 100k. No, I've been to Vegas once this year and it's more than enough. It's not my favorite place in the world. I had a bit of a rant about Vegas, my Vegas experience last time. It wasn't great. BGP is bluffing. BGP is bluffing. Opening on the button, but and here, bottom left, we also open. With the aces, we're going to 3-bet. And on this flop, I think it's kind of okay to bet, fold my hand. That's what I would do with my aces with the flush draw. Queen's pawn. Kind of tricky to bet this hand. Sometimes even after clicking, you start appreciating your other move more. Just clicking back there. You have a big hand brewing here, there's 4k in the middle. And by the size of the flop, there's been a lot of pre-flop action, bet on the flop and then all in on the turn. Toilet Rack is thinking about it and ends up calling. Makes the right decision. Split the pot. Split the pot. I was in Vegas for a week and then played again. He streamed yesterday or so. I think he lives in Vegas. Low card 45 saying Gianandis is a nit. Firstly, we have a zero tolerance policy here on Gianandis hate, and secondly, he's playing like a madman these days. Why the Brazil flag? I have lived in Brazil 2 years of my life and I have really enjoyed my stay there, so still representing my favorite country. Hello to the Pillow Goat from Zalujevi. That's a fault. When you check back king queen flush because you are blocking the queen high calling hand, isn't the opponent basically calling any flush there? So where does it matter so much that we block the queen high flush? I think my opponent is not calling with like low flushes on 3 streets, so if we want to protect our checking range, it's kind of nice to do it with a hand where getting a lot of value from the bet line is going to be a bit of a challenge anyway. So if I see you betting all of those combos, I know you're leaving your checking ranges unprotected, and it's kind of dangerous to do it. Asking for a straddle. Going to call the set and then play the hand from there. Guess this is the risky thing about playing low pairs. Check on the river and a small bet. I think I'm going to raise. Yeah, I can bet for value as well. Jamming and getting called by a king here is kind of nice. But we're just gonna call it and check it. Call in the bottom right table. BGP is in the time bank. He's probably filming a video of how he's going to bluff me. But he gives up on the queen, jack, jack, jack. Um, Small bet and fold. Yeah, I don't think I was going to fold there ever because we have this history going on. Guten Abend, bro, from Maximilian Gagel. Is Kimikon in the challenge the original Kimikon? No, he's not. It's funny, the people ask it so many times. So apparently he really made a name for himself. I didn't realize he was so popular. I didn't realize. What is BB value in USD? So this is just 525 USD. 1-to-1. Maybe a new 2.0 million challenge on X like the previous 1.0 completed. Maybe. I'm getting absolutely smashed this year, so I could do a minus million challenge, seeing how long it takes me to lose a couple of million. So far I've done a very good job in 9 months. Does the VIP game count towards the leaderboard? I'm pretty sure it does not. Cubicon has 70k plus in EV and all-ins, but is 40k down. What a run. How often does it happen over 30k hands? It's kind of special, eh? So I don't think it happens that much. That's a pretty rough run. At least he's winning a lot in EV, so he ends up not losing that much, but yeah. Poker is really crazy, like people still underestimate variance. Hopefully I'm finally saying it correctly. Vegas is all about getting set up with the right conditions. If you eat shitty casino food every day, you will come out feeling like shit. Yeah, you have a very valid point, but you're sleeping in the casino to be close to the games and stuff, so it's a bit of a battle, it's a bit of a challenge to get healthy food. It's not like it's around the corner there. Like there's a lot of people who book an apartment in Vandara so that they can cook. That makes a big difference already, but yeah. And I did make a lot of mistakes. I'm a Vegas rookie. I'm willing to take part of the blame. Any chance for more regular streams? Bro, I'm streaming twice a week and the chances of me doing more than that are very slim. Very, very slim. Those guys who are streaming every day or like 12-hour days and stuff, they all end up burned out. And I completely get why. It takes a lot of headspace, kind of. And I'm doing a terrible job at it, as in they actually put in a lot of effort and try to make the stream entertaining. They hire people around it. Nice to listen to that. I'm from Brazil, much love for you. Yeah, man, the Brazilian people, they're so nice. Among the most warm in the world, and the Netherlands is really the opposite. I think you're quite cold and not super welcoming. I think in this VIP game you have to click call here. You have to give some action to get some action. And this all-in was kind of interesting, where they went all-in three-way. This replayer is so bad. So, yeah, okay, I can do this. Let's try it all. Hopefully it's somewhat quick. Three-way. Three-way all-in and 10-10-9-9 double suited is looking very pretty against two hands that block each other. net named have good memories from the Netherlands. Yeah, I also have a lot of good memories, like going to school in the Netherlands was actually a lot of fun. There's a lot of friends from my school visiting me now, from my high school. And of course, after drinking a couple of beers, we were reminiscing of those times, and I had a lot of fun. We have a playable hand here. We have a playable hand. Here we're gonna fold. I think his graph of 7 million straight really made his reputation. Yeah, it's pretty sick, yeah. I think both betting and checking is a thing here. We're kind of blocking a lot, but if he raises us, we have a hand that we have to fold, which can be a bit of a shame. Yeah, that graph is pretty epic. 7 million in winnings. And it's not even that crazy in poker these days because the stakes just have been increasing year after year after year. It's developed way more differently than I thought it was going to develop. I thought action was going to dry up at some point, but we're alive and kicking. Opening a hand that should not be an open. Did you lose 1 million this year? No, I lost way more than 1 million this year. But also the stakes that I'm playing are higher than ever, so kind of logical, but going to fold here. Coming in with the light value bet. I'm clicking jack, pairs. Could be fine. I think we're going to open this hand here. What I remember about Kumikon is a podcast 7 to 8 years ago. He won a lot of money, but he said that he hated the game and retired to a mountain town to realize his dream of skiing. Yeah, the interview is terrible. Like, he's clearly not in a very happy place. So I had to stop the interview at some point, stop watching it, because for me it was just too painful to see someone who was clearly not happy, even though he had a lot of success as a poker player. The straddle special, king, deuce, deuce, 9. I think we check call here against most sizes. Here with the fours again, if it's with no backup. I think calling is the way to go. It's nice to protect our check calling range that way. And then on a clean turn we can put our stack in. 7, it's pretty clean. We're blocking the 7, which is not necessarily nice, but if he bets again now, he can have a ton of draws, like we're unblocking all the draws. So we're going for it. Chinese Bobby. If he has a higher set, we're absolutely cooked. And he has a pot fold, which is special, like you should do it. It should be part of your strat, but not everyone has it. Makes your opponent very unpredictable. I wish you a good session. Hope you're gonna win some serious money. Playmaker79, thank you. In all seriousness, loving all the streams lately. Good luck, good luck. Stoked to see you content for the win in the championship. Yeah, so when my friends leave, I'll put in a couple of big sessions and hopefully we can swing up and we can make God from Stock swing my way a little bit. Must be very close. We have an easy fold here in the big blind. Toilet rag is playing or receiving some hands. Gameplay is pretty big now. It's already a starting stack in the middle if BGP makes the call, but maybe he's fucking around with the trips again. Vegas, I always stayed in a condo in the Meridian. Next to the strip, 2 pools and a gym in the complex. Then cook my own food and take a healthy snacks and a protein shake to the poker room. Yeah, there you have a nice setup. Open, call, squeeze, call, fold, and then all in. Ace, queen, 6, 8. Nice, nice and light. Nice and light. How much do you charge for coaching? PS, love the stream. I don't really do coaching by the hour, but if you really wanted it, I would do it for 2k an hour. So far, nobody has taken me up on the offer. So that says something about either my coaching qualities or my pricing qualities. Coaching can make a very, very, very big difference. For me, it made all the difference in my poker career. Here we have 2 starting stacks in the 1k. Two starting stacks in the 1k. Probably fine to flat call as well this hand, but we're so deep that it's kind of nice to play a heads up pot in position. Here we have a hard time getting calls from worse hands if we bet. So I don't think it's a crazy idea to check this hand back. We're gonna open this hand. Okay, we got the 3-bet. It's not great. The hands that is 3-betting here are kind of dominating our hand. King 5-5-4. Looks okay. And this is us. Of course, he can have us covered super hard, but doesn't get much better than a flush draw gut shot and a pair. I think we get to shove into my opponent. If you make him fold aces, it's kind of okay. He goes all in. We're all on. Run it once. Wow, so much equity. Yeah. Here we get an 8. We're all in on the bottom right. A lot happening. 50-50. Here we can consider betting for thin value. I think it's kind of close because there's a ton of combos that beat us. That he has to check behind on the double flush draw board, but here most of the time we're having an overpair, so I think this is how we want to size, but it's completely fine to pot here as well. Maybe even better. He did have the aces. Open and 3-bet. fault here. Four-way with the 10-3, we might take it. We might take it down. Great VIP game, 6 racks, high rake and 130 VPIP VIP. I had no idea it was rigged heavily. Nah, $10. It's doable, but it's an underwhelming VIP game in terms of action players. Johnny! John! Zijn ze er vandoor? Oh, ja, dus niet via de stoel. Ja, kan. Ik moet even snel terug, want er is nu een handje aan de gang. Maar jullie kunnen maar even hier binnenkomen. Zijn jullie wel even op de stream, maatjes? Maar je kan gewoon buiten de camera staan.
Waar staat de camera afgegeven?
Hier zo. Op de stoel.
Lekker maatje!
Oh, echt fantastisch.
Dat is fucking gezellig.
Dankjewel, maatje. Altijd leuk.
Was geweldig. Thanks. Voor goede zorgen.
Geen probleem.
Goed enthousiast.
Hebben jullie nog meer vertraging? Of,
Nee, het valt mee.
Oké, nou, dat is prima.
Een uurtje.
Oké.
Goed.
Goeie
Kijk
reis.
maatje, succes vanavond. Moet je tot
Succes.
na door? Of niet?
Nee, 2 uurtjes.
Nou,
Die game is ook niet echt super goed. Jullie later wel.
Later maatje.
Succes hè, in het werken. Okay, that is my friends leaving. So I can go back to healthy life again, hopefully. Waar dat is? Weet ik niet. Ik kan het wel verdelen, dus het staat op mijn mobiel. Maar je moet wel even kijken met die stream, dat kan af en toe wel wat problemen opleveren.
Dus als een probleem oplevert, moet ik even de wifi uitzetten of zo.
Ja, dan laat ik het wel weten.
Precies. Gaat het?
Ja, goed, ik heb een aardig hit. Winning my flips.
Welke is het? Samurai?
Nee, dat is dat kastje. Vodafone, een of andere. Maar ik denk dat je die hier niet ontvangt. Die ontvang je hier niet.
Ik heb 2, er zijn 2 voor de phones die ik heb.
Die A51. Ja, share password. Is je geshared?
Ja.
Oké.
Thank you.
You.
Zal ik straks wat eten bestellen? Waar hebben ze die?
Bestel maar wat je lekker vindt, meidje. Misschien iets gezonds zou ik wel lekker vinden. Okay, quick intermezzo. Saying goodbye to my friends who were visiting. Whoa, lost more than $1 million. I'm sure you'll make it back fast. Good luck, mate. Yeah, you don't have to feel sorry for me. But it's kind of crazy to have your best year in poker and your worst year in poker in back-to-back years. I remember discussing with Elis about 10 years ago about online games might be dying in a couple of years. Yeah, it's literally what everyone said for the longest time, and then we just kept saying it for 8 years, and then we were like, okay, maybe we're not right. Okay, I got a double straddle seat. Double straddle seat. Just tuned in and see you are talking about coaching. Is there someone you can recommend up to $300 an hour? Not really. All the coaches that I work together with, they either work not on an hourly basis. It's usually like long-term long-term deals that are potentially interesting for coaches. I think coaching by the hour is like pretty bad business for the coach almost always, unless you're not good at coaching. So yeah. We're going to blast on the bottom left with some equity. I think we're gonna give up the river. We do have 4 of clubs, but we're literally blocking all the hands that he could miss. 5-5. Yeah. Open here, just call. Toilet rag is crushing it. Apparently he woke up with the aces after squeezing quite aggressively. Don't know if this is a thing, but feels like my open calling range has more tens than his 3-betting range. Kind of nice hand to do it with as well, like a lot of turns that we pick up equity on. We're going to continue on the 9, and then on the river we'll have to see what we do. Got folds here on the bottom right, folds on the top right. We're gonna look at the hand. Double suited aces against the kings, that's kinda nice. Limping the 9955, and we're gonna check a couple of the questions. One of the questions is, do you think Kakiti would be competitive in a challenge? I don't think so. He's been not playing poker for a while, and it's quite rough, the challenge. Like the level is quite high for considering that it's 10-20. I'm I wouldn't say struggling, but I'm also not crushing it in any crushing wouldn't be the word that I use if I think about what I've done in the challenge. Canarian Spy with a big bet. It's kind of saying 4-7, queen 7, 4-4 maybe. High flush, we're blocking a flush, we do block a king. Yeah. Going to try and catch this guy, but he does have the full house. Here we have a top pair and a good shot to the nuts, like I said. Those good shots are worth a lot. Drawing dead. No, not drawing dead. He was always okay. But kind of hard if you don't play poker for a long time to jump in with a lot of strong opponents. If I'm made for poker, should I be able to beat PLO 100 without any solver study? I don't really know how hard it is to beat PLO 100 nowadays, but if you think you're talented but you're really struggling at 100 PLO, no, I want to say something, but historically I've always struggled at, for instance, stakes like 200 PLO or 400 PLO because people are just very tight, and I kept calling people off too light, so it didn't really fit my game super well. So it's not always like the higher the stakes, the higher the level. It is, but it's also different. So for me, I was never the strongest player at 200 PLO or 400 PLO, and then always found it more easy to compete with people who are actually like trying to bluff, trying to play good poker. When playing online, shouldn't one worry about bots and AI? Aren't they currently good enough to beat humans? I think it's still very hard to run a bot for PLO, especially for high stakes. Like mid stakes was definitely beaten already by the bots. Jack 6 is a hand that's almost never the best hand on the river, but here on the ace we actually have a super bettable hand. 3 pairs, oftentimes a bet, and the solver protecting my hand. We are so lucky to be able to watch a real winner streaming the game. Thanks a million. Appreciate it, my man. G. Weckels. Gustav Lebon. Ray coaching, I don't know how to say it. Watching Finnish videos repeatedly in both tournaments and cash. I'm on the biggest upswing ever. I watch Vinny 4 hours a day. Use the free Mastermind product to dial in pre-flop because pre-flop is the baseline. Yeah, it's very nice. I'm actually trying to like explain my thought process, but even when you see me play and you think everything is making sense, there's still a lot happening in my head that I either can't vocalize or don't want to vocalize. So just by watching me it's not enough, I think, to make it to the top. But it's a good start. It's free. Hello, would you share LB? I can't access the site. It's blocked. Leaderboard. Yes, I can. We had it somewhere here. So this is the current leaderboard. Got from Stokes, absolutely crushing the challenge, and Venom is also doing very well. Both very different styles and not easy to play with. Call here in the small blind. And talk to yourself mentally when in a hand like Vinny talks to himself. Not sure what you're exactly talking about, but feels like it's okay to bet here, but if you get raised of our equity, it's kinda sucks. Toilet rack involved in some hands. It's kind of close probably, but I'm going to fold. That's my king. That's my king. Canary and Spa with the slow play. stuff is saying Pillow Genius is a great free pre-flop trainer too. Yeah, I agree. I have used Pillow Genius for my preparation pre-flop. Still not super good. There were some slight leaks in my game, and there still are, but it's very nice training software. Let's see, maybe we play the 2K as well. It's a big switch, going from playing high stakes to playing 8 tables of 10-20, or 10 tables even. Quite enjoyable, but let's see how many tables are running now. Limp. Weak kings, it's close. Going to fold here on the top left, and here we're going to raise. We really want to try and play for stacks with this full house. Hands we can value from our, for instance, aces, where I'm blocking aces, that's always nice. I think both checking and betting is fine here. Gotcha to the nuts, but player behind. Here we're going to bet big. Bet big. We could do a check raise. He's going to bet the queen himself if he does have one. Kinda hard for him to call aces against the big size, but who knows. Did BGP just bust his account? I think it's likely that this is his last bullet for the private game. It's real milk, thank you. Did you get invited to go on the Mechanic podcast? Yeah, a couple of times actually. I've said no all this time because Joey Ingram taped a 2-hour video with me, but he never put it out, which is kind of crazy, but this is very close. Going to call once and then see. 3 on the river. I think we have a relatively easy check. I'm surprised he's not betting small, but this hand makes sense. It's hard to get value from it. Also did not need much protection at all. So I did get invited, and I am going to consider to do it and ask Joey not to put out the interview, because it's literally me telling him 2 hours straight that I had the best year of my life, and then in actuality I'm having the worst poker year of my life now, so that would feel a bit funny. Do you run custom sims yourself, or do you have someone to run it for you? Starting now, shit takes time. I have someone that runs my sims, yes. I don't really enjoy that process, so I would rather outsource it. Here we're just gonna bet big in position. We're gonna peel here with the King Jack 7-7, which is not the best hand to have. Yeah. We're not folding. We're not folding now. Of course, Canarian hits this flop pretty hard, but he checks, so I'm expecting a lot of check folds actually. The slow plays that he would have are kind of blocked by me. So we can hit a 10, we can hit a 7 maybe, but Genandis goes all in quickly, so maybe he has a higher set. But we have enough equity, 47%. We do not win. Waar ga je naartoe, maatje?
Ik ga een hapje eten.
Met wie?
Later met je succes.
Later. We wake up with the aces on the top left. And that's not the kind of flop that we're hoping for. So the VIP game is over. It was kind of underwhelming, to be honest. Money Viking with a big bet. Yeah. Tough to win this hand. I think we can just fold 4-5, yeah, makes sense. Nice bluff, good sizes. Limit Larry with the big bet. Probably raising is a thing, but just a call. Can you talk about your mindset knowing you won't get unstuck for a year in any given session or perhaps in the next month? What do you focus on? Yeah, I guess I just want to take risks that are plus EV, so that's what I try to focus on. So as long as I'm playing well and playing in the right games, I don't really care about losing that much. I also like my how do you say, not my ego, but my personality is partly tied into being this poker player that takes a lot of risks and stuff, so I do appreciate putting myself in like tough spots where a lot of money or status is gained, so I don't have to play those 100Ks with most of my own action. I don't have to take the risks that I'm taking, but I enjoy it, so as long as I enjoy it, I'll keep doing it, and And obviously I would like to have a bit of a winning streak, but sometimes you just lose all the important flips. Check back for my opponent. Not too sure what to make of it, and if I would be able to bet check 9 for value here, but that's what we're representing. Canary and Spa with the double check and the bet on the river. I'm going to call. We're blocking the ace and 9, which are very relevant cards. It's kind of underbluffed, this line, but I think we actually have to fold here. King high flush draw, no pairs, not many backdoors. So that's what we're gonna do. Why won't Joey release it? My own personal read is that he is very busy with other projects that are yielding more money than running the social media, like doing the YouTube stuff. And maybe like mentally he's not in a super like good place. And then you can just like putting out a couple of podcasts can take a lot of mental how do you say, capacity. Jay Hernandez is such a bully. What do you mean? Bullying in the table or? This Canary and Spa guy has been wrecking me as well. You're the king. It's hard to bet and get him to call with something that's worse than our hand, so for that reason just the check is fine. Ace on the turn, and I think we get to use all our sizes. So that's what we're going to do. I think my opponent checks his range, so there could be some check raises in his range, but we'll just have to pay. We'll just have to pay. So yeah, the VIP game is over. We still have a tournament on the bottom right that we'll have to play. We have late reg for another 4 minutes only. Here these top 2 pairs without any backup are kind of nice as a check back. I would almost like to raise the size. I think calling would be the standard, but there's not that many rivers that are safe. So applying a little bit of pressure might not be the worst thing. And now we fold with no spade in our hand, and he makes the hero bluff. We charged him very nicely on the turn. We charged him pretty nicely there. And he saves himself with a nice bluff. If you run good in the championship, you win so much money because everyone is so incredibly aggressive in every node. call and stack off on a jack high flop. Poker gods cannot help us out. So last buy-in for the 1k, if I'm on time. I am. Super pro. Tomorrow I'll have another cash game streak, hopefully more high energy. I'm very tired at the moment. Do we have to defend here? Not really, but a little bit more high energy. But they messaged me about the VIP game and I thought it would be nice to play it. Now I'm stuck with you guys. Well, 4 clubs. Kind of nice to step with, but getting check raised here would be a disaster. River is a 7 and a very slim amount of showdown value, but take it down. Take it down. Calling the king 10 10 3 on the button. Let's see how many tables are running right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. So a little bit more, but it's definitely been going down a bit, the volume. And God from Stock is loving it. He's sitting on 140k and he's like, okay, if you guys don't want to compete, then I'll just take the Rolly. Then let's go into the showdown range. So we're slightly up today. We had a decent run here in the Cash Game Championship. We had one nice hand where I clicked it back and let my opponent bluff the river. We have a small break. Get some drinks for myself. Just water. Just water. Thanks, appreciate the honest answer. Did you ever play with Ben Tollerino or Ben Solsky if you had to bet whether they would be winning in this challenge, assuming they haven't played any 6-max Prelo in 18 months? Which side do you bet? probably for them to be winners. Like, I've always been very impressed by their game. I haven't played much with them, but even when we're playing live, Ben Tollerine is quite the presence at the table. He's really relentless in terms of aggression, but he always gets away with it. It's kind of crazy. Like, we all know he's doing it, but somehow, some way, he keeps coming or getting away with it. And partly of it is probably his run that's been incredible, but he also has an incredible feel for the game, knowing when to apply that kind of pressure, and yeah, it's kind of cool to see. They were so good back in the day, and 1020 is really not as competitive as high stakes is or was. I think we just want to bet here. It's tough to get called when we're sizing big. We're just gonna do it. I'm greedy, feeling greedy today. Sizing smaller is nice because we're blocking like all his calls. But then again, people can be stubborn on the river, so sometimes betting big can be good as well. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Okay, I'm back. Let's see, this Canarian Spa guys playing well and running insanely hot, it seems. Maybe we could check the kings. Kind of a nice line. We're really blocking showdown. Maybe I like that more. Wild bet call from Villain with bottom 2, ace king 6-3 on 10-7-3-6. It must be a losing play, but he made it work. I think he's making a couple of mistakes there, both pre-flop and post-flop, but if you run well, it's all okay. Can you tell us what you found in your ear? All your viewers want all the details. I think it's just a tick. I touch my face a lot actually when I'm streaming, and it's very, how do you say, weird when you watch back your own stream or you see a clip and then you see yourself touching over your whole body. It's just a tick that comes and goes whenever I'm streaming or on camera. Or Dustin Poirier has a funny one where he's like touching his pants in the middle of a fight the whole time. Small bet, and we have a good shot to the nuts. It's close, but I thought maybe with a backdoor or something. Yeah, you see, I went again. Cash Game Championship, but it would be super cool to have a small upswing and come close to 100k or something, so that I can actually give God from Stock a challenge. As for now, he's like, his ranking is so high, it's gonna be very hard to win. I had a funny run where I ran so hot the first week, won 100k, and then 25,000 hands of losing 50k or something. So I think I got very lucky at the start, and then maybe even more unlucky later on. Awkward stack size for kings. It's really player dependent, where if he finds all his bluff opens, then it's super fine to go there, and if he does not, then it's probably not fine to go there. We checked with the nines, there's not really a reason to bet. Shank finds a bet, so he's kind of saying I have at least Jack 7. Queen Jack maybe a little bluff ski with a diamond, could make a lot of sense. I think we're just checking back here again and just hoping that he was pulling some weird shit on the turn. And he kind of was, but very understandable, respectable hand. Canarian with the pressure again. And it gets very personal, the challenge, because like seeing someone bluff you, it's not a lot of fun. It really hurts. So yeah, it can get very personal. At least for me it is. Maybe my opponents are better at handling seeing bluffs, but not me. This LMF guy also has been doing very good. Everyone has such different like tactics, different playing styles. It's kind of funny. Like with the solver being there for such a long time, you would think that the play styles they like merge into something comparable, but as for now, still a lot of different ways to make money in poker. Okay, that's a nice hand in the big blind. Not sure what the best way to play it is. I think we want to push this guy out. But should be very close in terms of EV. I don't think he's like doing that with a bad hand at all. So we'll see, 47%, 40, 5, 5. I don't think we can rebuy. So that might be the end of the challenge. This might be overcalled this hand, but I don't know it well enough for me to actually do it. That might mean the end of the challenge, the stream, because I'm kind of tired and we're running out of action. So only 2 hours today. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I'll play a couple of more hands here on the cash game tables and then we'll close it down. Bobby did lose a lot today. Yeah. I don't think he played like crazy bad. He just, yeah, was the unlucky seed for today. We end with a slight win. I ran kind of hot in that game. I made my opponent pay when I had a full house and one flip. I guess it wasn't even a flip. I had 67%. It was quite a bit. I'm excited to play a couple of big sessions at 1020, like 3-4k hands a day for 3 or 4 days, but I have to balance hanging out with my friends and playing a bit. And then the last few days of the championship, if I do get close to God from Stock, I'll play a couple of 16-hour days, I think. And I might stream the last day, but this is all fantasy world where at the moment I'm so far from the #1 spot that it's not even, doesn't even feel like something that will happen, but I remain hopeful. I always get triggered by getting bluffed in big spots. It's incredibly triggering, and then usually when you play you don't see it. But you're always getting a nice price on your call, so if somebody pushes you out for not that much money, you're like, oh my god, I did not think my opponent was capable of bluffing in this line, and he did it. I made a fault that was maybe me trying to exploit him, but now I'm the one who's being exploited. It's a terrible feeling. It's a really terrible feeling. Couple of more hands. I think Bobby was streaming the cash game. Might be funny to see it from his point of view. He's putting a lot of time and effort into his YouTube channel. It's kind of nice. Okay, last hand here. The last hand. And then I'll have a cash game stream hopefully tomorrow, but maybe it will be Tuesday or Wednesday. I still have to see. I am watching few minutes delayed. I think everyone is, sir. Or at least I hope so. Okay. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Next stream either tomorrow, Tuesday or Wednesday. I have to figure some things out with my friends as well. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll go on a little bit of a run and I can still compete for the #1 places in the championship.